Wherever morality is based on theology, wherever right is made dependent on divine authority, the most immoral, unjust, infamous things can be justified and established. I would rather be a devil in alliance with truth than an angel in alliance with falsehood. The idea of God is the ignorance which solves all doubt by repressing it. The power of thought is the light of knowledge, the power of will is the energy of character, the power of heart is love, reason, love and power of will are perfections of man. The joys of theory are the sweetest intellectual pleasures of life. The essence of faith is the idea that which man wishes actually is. He wishes to be immortal, therefore he is immortal. He wishes for the existence of a being who can do everything which is impossible to nature and reason, therefore such a being exists. Theology is a web of contradictions and delusions. A circle in a straight line is the mathematical symbol of miracle. To know God and not oneself, to be God, to know blessedness and not oneself, to enjoy it, is a state of disunity or unhappiness. The law holds man in bondage. Love makes him free. Certainly my work is negative, destructive, but only in relation to the unhuman, not to the human. Consciousness consists in a being becoming objective to itself. It is nothing apart, nothing distinct from the being which is conscious of itself. The consciousness of the infinite is nothing else than the consciousness of the infinity of the consciousness. In the consciousness of the infinite, the conscious subject has for his object the infinity of his own nature. Each planet has its own sun. It really is another sun on Uranus. The relation of the sun to the earth is therefore at the same time a relation of the earth to itself or to its own nature. Hence each planet has in its sun the mirror of its own nature. The object of any subject is nothing else than the subject's own nature taken objectively. To every religion, the gods of other religions are only notions concerning God, but its own conception of God is to it God himself, the true God. Let it be remembered that atheism is the secret of religion. Religion, in its heart, in its essence, believes in nothing else than the truth and divinity of human nature. In the object which he contemplates, man becomes acquainted with himself. Man has the power of abstraction from himself. Wherever this idea that the religious predicates are only anthropomorphisms has taken possession of man, there has doubt, has unbelief obtained mastery of faith. Whatever kind of object we are at any time conscious of, we are always at the same time conscious of our own nature. As so much worth a man has, so much and no more has his God. Consciousness of God is self-consciousness. Knowledge of God is self-knowledge. By his God, thou knowest the man, and by the man his God. The two are identical. He present age, which prefers the sign to the thing signified, the copy to the original. We know the man by the object, even the moon, the sun, stars. He sees them as an evidence of his own nature. A limited being, its limited understanding is not felt to be a limitation. On the contrary, it is perfectly happy and contented with this understanding. Only through his fellow does man become clear to himself and self-conscious. A man existing absolutely alone would lose himself without any sense of his individuality in the ocean of nature. He would neither comprehend himself as man nor nature as nature. Nature is precisely what separates man from God. Our religion believes that one day this wall of separation will fall away. One day there will be no nature, no matter, no body, at least none such as to separate man from God. Then there will be only God. God does not negative himself in the incarnation, but he shows himself as that which he is as a human being. He who makes God act humanly declares human activity to be divine. Faith does not limit itself by the idea of a world, a universe, a necessity. Which is the object of another being is dependent. Thus the plant is dependent on air and light, that is, it is an object for air and light, not for itself. Physical life in general is nothing else than this perpetual interchange of the objective and subjective relation. Evenly personality, or the perpetuation of human personality, in heaven is nothing else than personality released from all earthly encumbrances and limitations. Ere we are men, they're gods. Existence is one with self-consciousness. Existence with self-consciousness is existence simply. If I do not know that I exist, it is all one, whether I exist or not. The belief in the immortality of man is the belief in the divinity of man. Love determined God to the renunciation of his divinity. Everything that exists has value, is a being of distinction. Hence it asserts, maintains itself. If thy predicates are anthropomorphisms, the subject is an anthropomorphism too. The unwedded and ascetic life is the direct way to the heavenly, immortal life, for heaven is nothing else than life liberated from the conditions of the species, supernatural, sexless, absolutely subjective life. Faith left to itself exalts itself above the laws of natural morality. Why so much higher are duties to God than duties towards man? Man in religion in his relation to God is in relation to his own nature. Faith postulates a future, a world, where faith has no longer an opposite, or where at least this opposite exists only in order to enhance the self-complacency of triumphant faith. Hell sweetens the joys of happy believers.